Hey, Lou, thanks for including our work on courage in the BPI webinar series. And, with all of the turbulence and the downsizing and flattening of organizational structures and the tougher scientific and regulatory hurdles and the demand for better work at a lower price with faster and faster cycle times, it's no wonder that the conditions that require courage, fear, pressure, insecurity, uncertainty, that they've almost been for teams today. And what we're seeing is that what leaders need to do with teams who are facing tough technical and business issues and are having to perform at their best under scrutiny and time pressure and adversity is that they've got to get better at challenging and uplifting and ennobling teams to reach higher and learn faster and sharpen up each other's thinking without worrying about politics or sacred cows or whether I could be putting my job or career in jeopardy if I raise the right issues or take initiative that someone else could see as encroachment on their turf. In short, in this business environment, leaders need to know not just how to get a job done and not just how to get a product to market or put together a good business deal or architect a solid organization. They've got to know how to energize and infuse teams with the right thinking and the right problem solving, the right level of courage to deliver on more aggressive promises that they've made to investors, regulators, partners, and to the marketplace.
Lou, let me give you a specific example. Say you're the managing director, or in American terms, the division general manager of a business unit, and you've been told by the CEO and the board that it's mission critical for you to improve your profit margins and your receivables in this tough market. So you go to your commercial directors, you tell them what the CEO and board have said to you and what they're asking of the business unit. What do you think they say? Probably going to laugh and go, you can't be serious. Not this year. We can't do it this year. Our customers are still in really tough times. Can't be done. Come talk to me next year. Now this is what we would call a moment of truth for you as the managing director, as well as for the team you're trying to mobilize. And it's a conundrum. If you push forward with your business case and you lecture them on, well, we've got to do it now and it's business critical and CEO said so, and you might win the battle, but you could lose the war. And if you listen to their input and scale back your aspirations to a level where they feel that you're respecting their business judgment and input, you could put the enterprise at risk. And so the road you need to take is the uncharted one of challenging, uplifting, encouraging, and ennobling your team to come up with the possibilities that go beyond, well, this is how we've always done it in the past, or, hey, Lou, just tell us what you want us to do. That's the kind of uplifting leadership we'll be focused on in our webinar.
Lou, where our work on courage started, and we've been doing this for about 20 years at this point, and it was with the observation that there's a gap between strategy formulation and strategy execution. And it's like in the example that Louise just used, you can be very clear and see what the managing director needs to mobilize his or her business unit to achieve, but the actual getting it done is a different set of muscles than simply envisioning the possibility. And when we started asking the question and started looking at what are the differences in the subcultures of teams that rise to those challenges and get it done, and how do those cultures differ from teams that try it and give up along the way, or who view speaking up as educating their management about why the aspirations are out of touch with reality rather than what we've got to achieve. And what we found when we started looking at the differences, we found two things. Number one is that the subcultures of teams that achieve are in fact different from teams who don't achieve. They have different mindsets. They make different decisions. They respond differently when they're asked to stretch and improvise and wrestle down tough issues. And they deal differently with egos and difficult personalities and cultural differences and hierarchy in order to get the best thinking, to find the best solutions. And they deal with setbacks and learn from setbacks that inevitably occur. They deal with them in a different way. The second thing that we found when we looked not just at the cultures of teams, but we looked at leadership practices, is that there are very specific things that leaders do when their teams hit the wall and when their teams object and when their teams balk at what's being asked of them that gets under the wings of their teams and lifts them to another level. And that in fact, those leaders, they don't just a culture, they shape a culture. And in some cases, with some of our clients in mega corporations, they actually create subcultures that are very different from the dominant cultures of the corporation as a whole and are far more courage building than what exists in the rest of the organization. Well, what we've done is taken this research and taken these observations and distilled it down into a formula that's what we call the 5 courage factors. And the 5 courage factors are basically the instincts that are shaped at moments of truth, like the ones that managing director faced when he came back with the mandate from the board and the team said, we can't do this. Or moments of truth that are dealing with skeptical or fearful or resistant investors or partners or consultants or payers, any of the network of people that have to be mobilized in order to execute on a tough strategy.
In our webinar, we'll give your subscribers a richer description of those 5 courage factors. We'll practice the things that leaders can say and do to fortify their teams with courage, to take on the challenging business conditions as a call to action rather than a call to retreat, and to speak up, step up, and make a difference.
See you there.